A fearless teen skips her youth to live life in the fast lane.
Wait, how old are you?
I just wanted to be wild.
So what are you off doing after work?
But her paranoia keeps driving love away, and she almost loses the one thing she truly loves.
Go get some help.
I didn't want to keep them apart or anything.
Terri?
She finally gets to follow her heart.
Had you ever had this before?
No, I just felt like it was everything I wanted.
Terri, what the hell?
Until true love leads to the ultimate heartbreak.
And I was like, Heather, stop before things go too far.
Get out!
Not all fairy tales have happy endings. When love goes wrong, a woman can do the unthinkable. 17-year-old Heather Hughes is looking for trouble.
Well, Brian said we could crash at his place later.
Cool.
And we stopped and we seen this car,
Hey, someone left the keys.
and the keys were right in, so it was like it was there for us to take.
Should we do it?
Yeah. All right, let's go.
Go, go!
But Heather wasn't always such a rebel. She grew up on the outskirts of Wichita, Kansas.
Hi, sweetheart.
Hi.
She has a close bond with her mother once her father's out of the picture.
He was verbally abusive and everything because he was drunk all the time.
Supporting Heather on her own is a struggle, but Roche finds strength in her daughter's potential.
She's got a lot of talent, you know. She wanted to go to New York. She wanted to be a fashion designer. I just always teach the kids, be proud of who you are.
Who is that?
It's you.
Despite the promise her mother sees in her at school, Heather's an outcast and feels different than the other girls.
You know, I would wear long socks and long shorts, you know, and 2 braids, and I was a tomboy.
Heather decides her best option is to try and change her look to better fit in. By 13, Heather is not just tall for her age, she's looking to grow up fast.
Hey, hey.
Hey,
Man, how you doing?
Then she meets Tyler Jones.
Heather.
Where you going?
Oh.
Home.
Hey.
Boring.
He's suave, handsome, and fresh out of jail. She likes what she sees.
Hell yeah.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 16, almost 17.
You sure?
Yeah.
At first, all I seen was opportunity to have fun, so I lied about my age.
Hey, listen, a couple of my friends coming over. We having a party later. You want to hang out?
Heather heads into the 21-year-old's house without hesitation.
Coming?
Yeah.
That night, Heather feels a little lost around an older crowd.
Good. What's up, baby?
Hi.
How you doing? You having fun?
Yeah, yeah.
Why you being a wallflower over here?
But Tyler quickly makes her feel right at home.
Introduce you to some of my friends. Hey, hey. What's up, boys? Let me introduce you to my girl. This Britt.
Hi.
This Rob.
The two start dating,
I just wanted to party. I had fun doing what I was doing.
and before long, Heather loses her virginity to her much older boyfriend.
21-year-olds should not be messing around with 13-year-olds. But you knew that. You're owning it. You're telling me that you lied about your age to get him interested in you.
Yes.
He wasn't the predatory one.
No.
Dr. Casey Jordan is a criminologist who studies violent behavior.
Heather is a born rebel. She is a perfect example of choice theory. She knows what she's doing, she knows that it's wrong, and she chooses to do it anyway. Nothing will stop her until she gets caught.
Hey, baby.
You want anything from the kitchen?
For the next several months, Heather frequently runs away from home to play house with Tyler.
Oh, school.
I'm too old for that.
I didn't know she was dating him. I didn't. And I couldn't understand why she kept running away, you know.
Let's find my boys. Come in.
Hanging around the apartment, Heather learns something new about her boyfriend. Not only does he indulge in hard drugs, but he also sells them.
I'm gonna show them a little something in the kitchen real quick.
Okay.
Keep her company.
She was around people that wasn't good for her, you know, people who were not positive influence by no means, people who were up to no good.
You want a spoon? Well, you gotta try it.
Okay.
I was curious. That's why I took it. I was curious and I wanted to know.
When Heather tries crystal meth for the first time, all other highs pale by comparison.
It was a wrap from there.
Heather is very young, but she knows exactly what she is doing. She is perfectly happy to defy society and live her hedonistic lifestyle. And now that she's added meth to the mix, who knows how she's going to be able to turn her life around.
Should we do it?
Yeah.
Over the next several years, Heather drops out of school and earns herself a long rap sheet.
Go, go! How many felonies between 12 and 17?
13 felonies, 22 misdemeanors.
And she's about to add to the list. She and her cousin are busted cruising around in a stolen vehicle.
We call them blueberries and cherries, you know, the lights go on. We got pulled over and we told the officers that it was, you know, our friend's aunt's car.
Police don't buy Heather's story, and they take the girls into custody.
So where were you really?
Heather's mom, Rashay, nearly explodes when she finds out what her daughter's been up to.
Yes, I was.
You lied to me!
Heather's gonna do what she wants to, how she wants to, and if it's not the right way, oh well, basically.
And this is where you end up.
Trying to keep Heather out of trouble has been a constant battle for her mom, Rashay.
You know, I didn't listen to her and she done nothing but stood by my side. I was on drugs, I didn't ever want to stay home.
It is a big deal.
I was very selfish. I knew I was hurting her, and at the time I didn't care. I have no excuses, no, you know, to cover that up. I did it because I wanted to, but looking back, I wish there were things that I could have done different.
I think she became a rebel by the way I communicated with her and by yelling, you know, like, well, I'm not gonna listen, I'm just gonna get yelled at.
I don't care who hears me!
You know what? If you were just gonna yell at me, you shouldn't have even come, okay?
I haven't begun to yell at you!
And she'll just do whatever, so I feel like I contributed to that.
Obviously you weren't thinking.
I just wanted to be wild.
There's plenty of people like me here. I fit in now. What's the big deal?
What is the big deal?
Heather's mother doesn't stand a chance here. Heather's rebellion is so much more than just teens will be teens. Heather owns her choices, and she is an extreme case of very strong will. I mean, it almost defies logic. But no matter how much she gets caught and punished, she goes right back to the same behavior. She is angry, and she just refuses to learn from her mistakes.
Look, I'm sorry, okay?
I can't believe you played me like that.
I wasn't.
Rashay's not the only one who's angry with Heather. Tyler finally learns the truth about her age.
I'm overreacting. You were 13 years old when I met you. Do you know I'm on parole right now?
I know.
I've put him through so much stuff. You know, once he found out about my age, I mean, you just, like, he was angry.
They're not gonna find out.
They're not gonna find out.
Their relationship crumbles. Following her release, Heather's staying back home with her mom and makes a plan to enroll in a GED course. But soon, life will take her on a much different course.
I was so dizzy, lightheaded, about to pass out, and my friend took me to the emergency room. They brought a sonogram in and heard the heart. So that confirmed everything.
Now pregnant, Heather fantasizes about reconciling with Tyler.
I know she always wanted that feel to be loved, to be cared for, you know, to be the wife at home, you know, that cooks dinner while the man's out working.
Heather's dream of a perfect family shatters when Tyler is sent back to prison on drug charges.
I guess it just kind of burst her bubble whenever it wasn't really like what she thought it would be.
Heather, wait up.
Then, comfort comes from someone unexpected. 24-year-old Brent Johnson, Tyler's best friend.
That's Brent.
Tell you what, you still look amazing.
Unlike Tyler, Brent doesn't have a criminal record.
Tell me about Brent. They were best friends, right?
They was like two peas in a pod.
So Brent was always there on the side, always there in the background.
Yeah, there's brothers.
That was stupid, but it was funny, though.
He's always had a soft spot for Heather. Over the next couple of months, Heather finds herself falling for him.
If you ever need anything, if you ever need to talk, you've got to know that I'm always going to be here for you, okay? All right.
Thanks.
Come on, let's go.
I was happy. In that time, I had a lot of joy being pregnant.
And that's not the only reason Heather's happy.
He worked hard for us to save up for our own place. It was cute because it was like a little garage apartment, and I mean, it was ours.
Heather seems to be catching a lucky break here. Once her man goes to prison, Heather is looking at being a broke single mother. But Brent, he seems like a good guy who genuinely cares about her. And he may offer her a far better chance at having the happy family that she always wanted, a life that Tyler never could have given her.
When Heather's 7 months pregnant, Brent catches her totally off guard.
Are you sure?
Definitely.
He was like, he wanted to get married, and I was like, I mean, you know I'm pregnant, you know, and he said he didn't care. And I was with Brent ever since then.
That's the person she wanted to be with for the rest of her life.
Just you and me.
And the baby.
A couple of babies.
The couple gets married, and Heather gives birth to a daughter she names Emma. Brent never leaves her side.
He was with her through the whole pregnancy. He was a good husband.
He treats Emma like his own.
I had a family of my own. I felt like I was doing something right.
After a year of marriage, Heather and Brent seem happier than ever. Then, Heather comes across a shady message on Brent's phone.
There was this girl, she worked with him. I seen a picture of her in her underwear on his phone.
Who the hell is this?
It's Gina.
Who the hell is Gina?
I work with her. She's got a crush on me.
Why is she sending you pictures like this? Are you cheating on me?
Despite his denials, Heather's not convinced.
With her dad leaving early and Tyler going to prison, Heather has a very real fear of abandonment. And this leads her to overcompensate and demand love and fidelity instead of letting her partner just offer it freely. Heather's lack of trust is now alienating Brent, and if she keeps badgering him for reassurance, she is going to drive him away.
Where are you going?
Going to work.
I don't understand why you're never home.
Her paranoia becomes a daily struggle.
She kind of suspected that he was cheating on her. I know at one point in time, she went and sliced all 4 of his tires, and I was like, you really can't do that?
I don't.
I can't do this anymore.
Before long, Heather realizes she's pregnant again.
Couple of babies.
She's convinced it'll solve all their problems.
And was Brent happy?
He was super happy.
He wanted his own child with
He
you.
wanted, yes.
Heather, I'm home.
But their happiness doesn't last long.
Heather. Heather. Heather, baby, wake up. Baby, wake up. Heather. Heather. Ah. Yeah, I need an ambulance. 1164 Morning Glory Circle. Why she's not responding? Just send someone.
Me and my daughter got carbon monoxide poisoning.
From our understanding, it was from the little heater in the house. It was leaking.
Woke up New Year's Day in the hospital. The doctor even told us he didn't know how we were still alive.
While luckily her daughter Emma survived, Heather suffers a miscarriage. It's a devastating loss that tears the couple apart. Brent starts spending more time away from home.
Brent, it's me. Call me.
It went from him being home early at night to him being gone till almost midnight. She felt like, you know, she put her all in a relationship and
Where the hell have you been?
it's crumbling down, basically.
No, you haven't. It's late. Where the hell have you been?
Heather's paranoia comes back full force.
I know you've been seeing someone. Who is it?
You know, my head just started going back to where we came from before any of this happened.
All right, fine. I'm done.
Stop lying.
I'm done and I'm out.
We are not done.
And one day he left. He went to work, never came back home.
Where are you going?
He doesn't love me anymore. Okay, he just left me.
Heather quickly goes off the deep end.
When he left, I started getting high on meth again.
Rashay steps in to help take care of her granddaughter, Emma, eventually taking over full guardianship. For Heather, not even drugs can relieve the pain of losing her family.
I was sad, and I was lonely, and I wanted my baby.
I just told her, you know, every day, it'll get better, it'll get better. You just gotta give it time.
Her apartment soon becomes host to all of her old demons.
I had so many people in and out that house. I didn't have nobody to take care of. I didn't have responsibilities. So I got high and got high and got high.
Then one day in July 2008, Heather gets a phone call that makes her heart skip a beat.
Hello?
It's Brent.
He told me he had been with somebody else.
Hey, listen, I know I've been gone for a while, but I've been seeing what's going on in the house, and I've been thinking a lot, and, look, I miss you.
And he said he knew what's been going on at the house and that he was finally at where I was at in the beginning, you know what I mean, to just forget everything. I was so happy. He said that tomorrow we'll talk about it and we'll start moving my stuff back. And I was so happy.
Okay, I'll see you tomorrow.
Cool. All right, bye.
Eager to share the good news, Heather decides to spend the night at her best friend Sarah's house.
We kind of switched off, you know, from staying at her house to staying at my apartment.
So did he call yet?
No, not yet.
I'm sure he'll call soon.
The next day, Heather waits for Brent's call.
I'm sure he'll call. Don't worry.
Hours pass. When the phone finally rings, it's from a number she doesn't recognize.
Hello?
Once again, Heather's dream of a perfect family is about to shatter.
Oh my God, is he okay?
Brent got in a car wreck. And I was like, well, where's he at? What hospital is he at?
If he doesn't want to see me anymore, he can just tell me, just tell me which hospital I should go to so I can see him.
Well, he said he died. He got in a car wreck last night and he died on impact. So when he said that, I felt like just something huge just knocked all air out of me.
He died.
He was a great guy.
It's okay.
It was a hard time for both of us.
Heather's first instinct is to numb herself from the pain of the crushing news.
Crystal. I just need some crystal.
I think anytime there was a crisis in her life or something that came up, that's what she would do.
You know, she was heartbroken. She thought that was really going to be the person she was going to be with.
But in her fragile state, the drugs have a dangerous effect.
I kept telling myself, you know, like, you know, you believe in angels and stuff, like, surely if I jump off this balcony, he's gonna catch me, he ain't gonna let me hit that ground.
You're telling me you were having suicidal thoughts?
Not suicidal thoughts, but just I knew he wouldn't let me hit that ground.
You would have hit that ground?
Yeah, I wasn't believing that.
Heather is trying to cope with this tragedy by once again numbing herself with drugs. But the drugs and the sleep deprivation are making her delusional. These suicidal thoughts are very real. She has lost all hope, and at any moment, she might jump.
Get off!
For the next 3 years, Heather is in a revolving door of abusive relationships, each one more violent than the last.
Slut?
She closed herself off from everybody, really. Every time I talk to her about it or try to get her away from it, she's said that she's the reason why it happened, or she couldn't get away.
Sarah, I need you to come over.
Heather also dives back into her old vices with abandon. She sips, smokes, and snorts anything that'll help her escape the pain of losing Brent.
I think it really affected her a lot. Obviously, she was sad and brokenhearted and everything because they were going to meet to, you know, reconcile or talk and all that. He was going to be coming home.
Where was your strength? Where is the tough girl Heather that had been there since the day you were born?
I don't know.
By early spring of 2011, Heather's daughter Emma is 4 years old. She's rarely seen her mother over the last 3 years. One afternoon, a homeless 22-year-old Heather shows up on Roche's doorstep.
Hi, Mom. I brought a toy for Emma.
You just show up?
I didn't want to keep them apart or anything, and so we just kind of had made some ground rules. You know, you get yourself together, you just got to work on yourself.
Get some help.
I will get help. I just want to say hi to my daughter first, and then.
Heather's determined to reconnect with the daughter she's neglected for so long. She checks herself into rehab the following day.
I wanted out. I didn't even feel like I could get high anymore. That's how done I was with it. I got tired of being high finally.
A few weeks later, Roche lets her daughter back in the house.
Green? Okay.
Emma's happy to have her mom back.
She's pretty. She's nice. She would do my hair, and we would talk about like doing my chores, staying out of trouble.
Oh, look at that. Look at my brains. Look at you.
Look at how I climb.
I know, you did such a good job.
She'd take me to the park. Sometimes we'd have picnics. She would play with me.
So it's like a whole new lease on life.
Yes.
You're gonna stay clean, be a good mom to your daughter.
And at this time, I have nobody. It's just me and my daughter.
Heather was in a pit of depression and despair for such a long time. Only her love for her daughter could drag her out. It is the last thing on earth that she has, and she finally realizes that she has got to save herself and get clean for her child's sake. So for the first time in a long time, Heather is finally on the right track. And staying single while she's healing and working on her sobriety is definitely a good idea.
But that's about to change.
Terri? Hey, Heather.
Oh my gosh, hi.
Hi.
In May 2011, Heather bumps into 26-year-old Terri Lee.
What are you doing here?
Oh, my daughter's playing over there on the playground.
The encounter stirs up feelings that have been hiding under the surface.
I was attracted to Terri ever since I was 14 years old. Long time crush. I loved everything about her, like the way she dressed. She was beautiful, you know, just everything about her was just, I was attracted to her.
You had always known that you were attracted to girls.
Yes.
When did you first know this?
For as long as I can remember. You know, I liked what I seen, but they kept talking about these boys and stuff, so I felt like we were supposed to like boys, that was what we had to do. I just never came out or anything.
You know, you and I should get together. We should get dinner sometime.
Yeah.
Heather can't wait to see Terri again.
I'll see you later.
All right. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
The following week, Terri invites Heather and Emma over for pizza.
And I turn around and I'm like, where is he?
Heather feels completely at ease with Terri.
Hi, honey.
Can you please read me your butt?
Oh, I love to, but you know, me and your mommy are having a really nice dinner right now. Could I read it to you in 15 minutes?
I just liked how she interacted with my daughter. Like, even though we was having our adult conversation and having our little drinks, when my daughter came up, it was focused on my daughter, and that's what I liked.
We can just watch a movie with Emma.
She accepted everything about me. You know, she accepted my past and everything.
As things heat up, Heather's the happiest she's ever been.
I just felt like it was everything I wanted. For one, it was a woman.
Finally.
Finally. For two, what we had was innocent fun, like I guess you would call a normal hangout.
Finally, we have some insight into Heather's long history of anger and rebellion and defiance. Maybe Heather's self-destructive behavior was rooted in these long repressed feelings for women. Staying clean and starting a healthy, honest relationship with another woman could be a very positive step in the right direction.
I have something I wanted to tell you.
Within 2 months, Heather moves in with Terri, and their relationship goes public.
You can tell me anything.
I just thought they were really good friends for a while. You know, it just didn't hit me.
She's my girlfriend, and I love her.
I was kind of like shocked.
What do you think?
It took me a minute to really get used to her and the idea. But you know, she's my daughter and I love her unconditionally, and it, you know, whatever makes her happy.
Terri kind of provided the stability, home life. You know, Heather didn't have she really, at that time, I don't think she had any worries or anything. It kind of reminded me how she was with Brent. I felt like she was comfortable. She wanted it to last.
That's wonderful. It's, yeah.
For the next few months, Heather plays housewife while Terri works full-time at a marketing firm.
I have to get ready. Up here.
You want to take that trip this weekend?
You know,
According to Heather, both women even consider the idea of getting married.
We was gonna go to Vegas, you know, and that was our plans. That was what I knew. I actually felt like I had everything I wanted.
give me like a month, okay?
But when Heather finds a suspicious text on Terri's phone, their seemingly solid foundation is put to the test. Rather than confront Terri, she decides to call the mystery woman herself.
I really thought it was somebody she was having an issue with at work, you know, and then come to find out.
Terri, hi. This is Heather, Terri's girlfriend.
Terri didn't tell me she's a girlfriend.
Yeah, well, she does. Who is this?
Yeah, you should talk to your girlfriend about this. I gotta go, bye.
Wait, hello?
Y'all been messing around.
Heather can't bear the thought of losing her soulmate. So she approaches Terri with caution.
I know about Melissa.
I mean, I was so calm about it because I told her when we got together, you know, I don't want no drama. I've had it all my life.
It's fine if you want to see other people.
You sure about that?
As long as you keep it out of the house, I don't care.
This was so important to you, this nuclear family, this idea of getting married to the love of your life, that you were willing to tolerate her having girls on the side.
Yes, and I was mad, and I was hurt.
But you were willing to do that.
Yes.
You know I love you, right?
Yeah.
Let's see tonight.
Heather is so emotionally attached to Terri that she tells her it's okay if you have affairs as long as they don't affect things at home. But given Heather's history of deep insecurity and jealousy, it is really doubtful that Heather can handle an open relationship.
Over the next few months, it becomes clear that Heather really isn't okay with Terri seeing other women. And she deals with it by turning to the bottle.
Okay, babe, that's enough.
You stop.
Okay, what's your deal?
Look, I'm sorry. Who are you texting?
Denise.
When Heather realizes Terri's texting with her ex-girlfriend Denise, she loses it.
Please just stop.
But you have to remember, Heather, I have to remind you that you had just finished telling her that what she ever did on the side, as long as it didn't affect your relationship, you just don't ask, don't tell. You just don't want to know. So was that policy still in effect?
I really thought we was over it, that she was over it.
That was just a one-time thing, that dalliance on the side?
Yeah.
Oh my God, we're trying to have a good
act this way. I do not want to be a part of it. This is ridiculous.
In December 2011, Heather plans a night out for Terri's birthday.
Shot. I do shots.
Shots. Birthday shots.
So it's me, Terri, Sarah, and we're all going out, and like I said, you know, it was good, normal fun. Like, that's what I liked, you know what I mean? It wasn't this outrageous stuff that I've been doing forever.
But then, Heather spots an unwelcome face at the bar. It's Terri's ex-girlfriend.
Denise?
Wow.
You can't be here. You can't be here. You gotta go.
I was invited.
Who invited you?
I was personally invited.
I remember with Terri's ex, and there was a few words said, looks given. They was calling each other bitch.
That bitch. You know what? It's my girlfriend. Oh, you know.
Hell no. You better get out of here.
She had a butterfly knife. She pulled it out of her hair.
Both Heather and Denise get thrown out of the bar.
I don't know if she was going to use it, but at that point in time, they was already pulled apart.
While Sarah takes Heather home, Terri stays behind, hoping to salvage the rest of her night.
I'll just get a Jack on the rocks. Yeah, thank you.
It's now pretty clear that Heather cannot handle an open relationship. She may have given Terri permission, but now that her tolerance has been tested, she wants to renege on their deal. It's a conundrum that she cannot solve, so she starts drinking and acting out instead of just communicating her fears. The return of that angry and obsessive Heather, it's only going to drive Terri away and maybe give her an actual reason to be with another woman.
Not long after, she meets 29-year-old Jenny Thompson.
Rough night.
You think?
Just a little bit.
You know, just a little introduction between my ex and my current girlfriend, so that's what went down, and it's my birthday.
On your birthday?
Yeah.
Jenny's smart, easygoing, and a far cry from Heather's instability. And as the night winds on, Terri finds herself smitten.
Did Terri's behavior change after that night?
She did start acting funny. She started taking her phone with her to the bathroom. She started locking the bathroom door when she showered.
As Terri distances herself, Heather grows more and more possessive.
Babe, I'm so tired.
You're always tired. You never want to do anything anymore.
She felt she was cheating on her. Like, she was kind of pushing her away from the relationship.
You don't care anymore.
I do care.
No, you don't. If
Yes,
you
I
did, you wouldn't be tired all the time.
You know what? I would not be.
What happens to your relationship when you get all suspicious and accusatory?
She started suggesting that we take some time apart. She never told me it was over. She just said she needed space.
Once again, Heather feels like she's losing control. She packs a bag and leaves Terri's apartment.
Heather is falling into the same pattern that she was in with Brent. She wants to be with Terri. She desperately wants to love and be loved, but her possessiveness and that constant need for control is suffocating their relationship.
After dropping her daughter with a neighbor, Heather seeks out comfort at her friend Sarah's house.
I don't want to talk about it.
She started using again. She used and used and used, went on a binge.
Heather relapses into a pit of meth abuse like never before.
I tried to take it away from her.
Come on, Heather.
But you know, I couldn't sit there and babysit. I'd leave, I'd go to the casino, I'd go to the store.
You know what? Fine. Whatever. I don't have time for this.
I don't know where this high came from, but this high was out there, you know. But every day, me and Terri text and talking about when I come home, when I come home.
So she's still talking about you coming home?
Yes.
Heather is in total denial. She just refuses to see all these obvious signs that Terri is done with her. And all of this denial takes a lot of mental energy. So it's really no surprise that Heather turns to drugs again to try to kill that pain.
Heather's binge lasts over a week, and she slides further and further into a deep depression.
She felt like it was the end of the world, really. She had suicidal thoughts on trying to drift her away from him. I knew she was too far in. I mean, I beat myself up about it every day.
Heather's desperate to reunite with the woman she loves. On February 5th, 2012, 9 days after being asked to leave, Heather shows up outside Terri's apartment.
I let her know. I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Did she respond?
She said that she's not there right now.
You knew she was lying.
Now, that's what set the red flag off in my head because her car was there and she just said she's not there right now.
Terri, what the hell? Who the hell is this? What are you doing?
Terri said that she was locking the door of her apartment when she heard a lot of yelling from behind her. She turned around to see Heather there.
Who the hell is this? What the hell?
I need my privacy right now.
You need your privacy.
Yes,
She's
you
the reason why
do.
you alone. What the hell?
And I was like, is this what you wanted me out of the house for? And she was like, you're just crazy. And I said, so I looked at the girl and I said, who are you? And well, really, I said, who the are you?
Hey, don't touch me. You need to get out of here. I'm trying to talk to my girlfriend right now.
Jenny, go. I'm calling the police.
I grabbed Terry's cell phone because she was on the phone.
Pretty much come back here. Heather, this is my phone.
Inside the kitchen, Heather begs Terri to talk to her.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
love you.
Stop. Get out. I don't ever want to see your face again. Just leave.
And she don't have nothing to say, so I went over there to give her a hug. And she gave me a hug for like 20 seconds. And then she tried to push me off her, and that's all I remember.
But what happens next will make this a day that neither Heather nor Terri can ever forget.
Heather actually hit her in the head with the knife, leaving a gash in the top of Terri's head. She pushed Heather into the refrigerator. She hit her head, she fell to the ground.
Terri makes a run for it.
So I picked up the knife, and I was gonna slash her tires, all 4 of them.
To force a conversation?
Yeah, just so she would tell me. All she had to do was say, you know, and I would have left.
Say what?
Say whatever it was that I wasn't clear of.
Heather, stop! Stop! Please stop!
Heather's following Terri to her car when Jenny reappears.
Hey, you need to go.
You know, she was walking with her hands behind her back.
And she's armed with a crowbar.
But, she swings at me the first time and misses.
Please, no!
The second time she swings at me and I catch her arm, and with this arm, I have the knife in, and I stuck her once.
But Terri has a different account of what happened.
Heather, stop! Stop!
She claims Heather attacked Jenny unprovoked.
At no point did Jenny advance toward her. There is no evidence to show that she did anything in an aggressive way that would have given Heather the opportunity to exercise self-defense on her part.
And the crowbar was never used.
Obviously, Jenny felt very threatened by Heather and picked it up in an attempt to have something to try to defend herself.
Regardless of who was the aggressor, Heather flees the scene.
I didn't really think that, I could have done anything serious, because she was like, oh, she stabbed me in my heart, and that sounded dramatic, at the time. I was well aware of what I did, but something clicked in me, and I was like, Heather, stop before things go too far.
You stabbed her once, though, in the chest.
Yes.
Jenny!
A witness calls 911.
One of the officers on the scene actually got a telephone number to call Heather and actually made contact with her by telephone.
Heather gives up her location and surrenders to police.
What's your name? Heather Hughes.
I told him everything that happened. I told him my part.
Where's the knife?
It's in my purse.
She never would say that she did it. It was almost as if Jenny had been miraculously cut.
They looked for the weapon, in my purse. I was totally compliant.
Jenny succumbs to her injury.
Jenny died.
Yes.
You stabbed her in the heart and she died.
Yes.
Can we please get you to say something? Ma'am, can you hear me?
Jenny was that unknowing but proverbial straw that broke the camel's back. Heather has had a lifetime of very real loss and abandonment. She just could not accept that Terri was leaving her too. Seeing Terri with another woman was just like falling off a cliff for Heather. She just lost all logic and self-control, and she succumbed to this overwhelming feeling of doom. Jenny couldn't have known any of this. She was just a victim in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Heather is charged with first-degree murder.
When you're telling me this, you have almost no emotion whatsoever. So I can't tell whether you don't feel anything about Jenny or whether you think it was completely justified.
It wasn't justified. You know, that was, my actions was, you know, uncalled for.
Was it self-defense or not?
In that moment, I feel like if I didn't have my knife and she would have got me with that, then where would I be right now?
Self-defense requires a subjective standard. What would a reasonable person do if they were standing in Heather's shoes? Because there was no hard evidence supporting Heather's claim that Jenny attacked her unprovoked, it's now up to the jury to determine if the stabbing was justified.
A year later, a jury finds Heather guilty of first-degree murder.
I think it should have been crime of passion or manslaughter. I don't think she should have got that at all.
Senseless. That's how I sum this case up. This was a woman that did not have to die. Heather has to be accountable for her actions.
Heather is sentenced to life in prison. She's not eligible for parole until May 2050.
I just sometimes wish we could relive our lives, you know, because I can't believe she's where she is right now, because she's a good person and she's a very good mom and she's got a lot to offer her baby girl. She'll learn from her mistakes and stuff. It was just self-defense. I just wish I could take back time, you know? But I don't feel like she has to pay the rest of her life for something that was an accident. It was just so terrible.
She was looking for love in all the wrong places, basically. She was being betrayed by people she trusted. I still ain't got to go see her. I mean, I'm on her visitation, but I haven't went and seen her because, like I told y'all, I beat myself up every day. I feel like if I was there, it could have been different.
I just wish that there was other ways that I could make it up to him, and knowing that I never can in any way, if I was in here or out there, nothing I could do will ever change that. I got to live with that regardless if I did have a chance to get out or stay here. I have to live with that life on my hands. I wish I would have just had the strength to walk away and not been so weak to want answers. But for her family's sake, I'm sorry.
You regret it? You think you'll ever get out?
Probably not.